Hi everyone, Phil from Tech for Techs here. Today we're going to be looking at this from YuanLey, or at least that's how I think you pronounce it. It's basically a Power over Ethernet switch which retails on Amazon for roughly around about £60. Okay, so let's have a look at the box first. Here's the manufacturer's name, pronounce it however you wish. I'll probably do it and get it wrong again, but it's a smart PoE switch. It's got 2 gigabit connections for uplink, and then you've also got 8 PoE ports on there as well. I'll go more in depth what those are in a few minutes. As you can see on the box, it says PoE 802.3AF/AT, high power, plug and play, long distance. Not much other than open on that side, and then it's basically got their address on the back, so there's not much to see on the box. Okay, so this is what we've got in the box. You've got the switch itself, you've got a quick start guide which tells you how to set it up, or in basics, because only 2 pages of it are actually in English, the rest are all different languages. You've got your power cable, which does look like it's fused. It is what we call a kettle lead. This is the same type of lead you'd use to power, believe it or not, a kettle as well as a PC in most cases. You've also got on there 2 brackets. That's for basically hanging this in a cabinet which is specifically designed for these. Otherwise you can basically just sit it down on the table, and you've got all the screws you'll need to do that. So it's pretty straightforward. So let's have a look at the device itself. So let's start on the back. So the back, you've got where you obviously power it. You stick your power cable in, stick the other end in a power socket, bang, it powers. Pretty straightforward. You've got a QC pass sticker there as well. Pretty straightforward. The sides, you've just got a ventilation and a few holes where you can put on your hangers on here, so you can put it in your cabinet and so forth if you wish. But obviously that's up to you how you want to do that, depending on your cabinet and if you've even got one. The other side is exactly the same. Top is plain. Bottom, you do have 4, you could say feet. The metal, they're not rubberized or anything like that, which is a shame. You've got the model number there, and you've also got 2 hangy hook style things there, so you can put like screws in walls and then hang it on a wall like that, or like that, depending on which way you want to do it. So that's pretty much straightforward. On this side here, you can see the model number then. You can see 10 ports Ethernet switch with 8 port PoE. So 10 ports in total, but bear in mind 9 and 10 are your uplink. Those are what you connect up to your main router in your office, house, building, whatever you are. You would connect that up to your router or another network switch. So that's the main way in and out of here if you're connecting to your main infrastructure in your house. Now these ones here are designed for Power over Ethernet. Now that's what PoE stands for, so Power over Ethernet. And what that basically means is if you've got a device, let's just say a camera system in your house, and the cameras need to plug in to a device like this, for example, which is a PoE system, you would basically get the cable and plug it directly in there, and it sends the power and the data through each of the ports to the device. So you wouldn't need a separate power cable to power the device, for example a camera. So for example, if you were to go out and buy a camera, it normally comes with a power cable and an Ethernet cable or connection on it to connect to a router. You wouldn't need to do that. You'd just use the Power over Ethernet connections on one of these devices, and you wouldn't need the power cable. Obviously, check the device does support that, obviously, otherwise it still won't work and you could potentially cause damage. So make sure the device you are plugging in is PoE. So that's pretty straightforward, and it supports up to 8 of those. Now the 2 uplink ports are gigabit, so that basically means they're very fast, is the best way of putting it. And these ones are 10-100, which isn't the fastest. Most networks these days use 10, 100, 1000 or gigabit connections, which those 2 are. These aren't. But saying that, when you're using a camera system or something like that, you don't need that sort of speed, or generally you don't, unless your camera system is using some really high quality image rates. But generally 10-100 is fast enough for that. But I wouldn't use it as a general network switch in your house to, let's just say, connect up multiple PCs to or anything like that. It's not really designed for that. You can do it, but it isn't going to run the fastest. Your network's going to be slow. You're going to be limiting yourself to that 100 megabits per second, which is going to limit you. Otherwise, looks pretty good. Let's just plug it in and see exactly what happens. So if you plug this into the mains, there's no power switch on it. You can see the power light is there, and that's all that's come on. Reason being, because we've got no other cables plugged in. So you get your Ethernet cable, which is here. Obviously they come in different colours, and then you plug that into your uplink switch, the right way around obviously. Once that's done, fingers crossed, the light should light up there, and that's telling you now that data is going to this device. So that means anything you plug into these will then connect up basically to your network. So then you'd get another cable, and you'd then get that cable and then plug it into one of these other sockets, and then that would then send the data to and back to the device through that socket. And as you can see, it lights up there. Doesn't really matter which of those sockets you plug it in all honesty. And you could potentially put a high-speed device in your second port there, so something along the lines of another switch or even a PC or whatever, but don't put them on this connection here because it will be limited slow speeds. This device will support up to 120 watts of power with 30 watts of power through each of the ports, and 15.4 watts in the same time. It automatically detects on your network, so it's plug and play, so you shouldn't really have to mess about with anything on there. When you have got this switch onto extended, which is that one there, it will allow the device to transmit data and power up to 250 meters, so quite a long distance. But the catch is it will only work at 10 speed instead of 100 speed. So again, you can use this for all sorts of things. Let's just say wireless access points, IP cameras, IP phones, computer networks if you wanted, but bear in mind 10100 might be a bit slow. So there's all sorts of different things you could use on this. The weight of this item is roughly 930 grams. It is 20 by 11.8 by 4 centimeters in size. It's stated to be stable. It's got a PSE chip. It's 10 gigabits per second high speed, 120 watts. And noise free, and as we said, it is plug and play. And as we said, it will work up to 250 meters at 10 megabits per second, or on the default mode it will work up to 100 meters at 100 megabits per second. If you're interested in this product, feel free to click the link in the description. It'll take you straight there and show you the best deal available for this product. And as I said, at the moment of recording, it is roughly 60 UK pounds. Prices around the world obviously may vary.